Hello friends, welcome back to my channel English with Shyam sir, and I'm Shyam sir talking. In this video, I'm going to give you the analysis of a very important article that came on June 17th, Hindu newspaper on the page number 8, editorial column. And the headlines of the article says, "Bulldozer Injustice to Teach a Lesson." This is the headlines. And I will make it very easy, and I'll try to also explain a little bit of background. Already in one of our earlier videos, I got to tell you what is actually happening in some states in India. There is something called bulldozer governance is happening. What is this bulldozer governance? If the government believes that there is an encroachment means an illegal construction, the government is dismantling, demolishing the building with the help of a bulldozer. This is okay, so far everything is okay, but the problem comes when that is not actually an encroachment, or if the demolishing process happens without following the due process of the demolishing process, like due process of the rules. Like for example, there needs to be a prior notice given to the party concerned and all that. So especially recently what happened was, a person belonging to a political party, BJP, spoke some offensive remarks against the prophet of a particular religion that incited anger from the people of that particular religion. They started agitations. In turn, this happened. Should we take it like a very normal procedure of encroachment, or should we take it like a retribution act where some people of the government don't like these agitations and they want to show their power by misusing the power? This is all the article about. There are beautiful points mentioned in this article, around 10 simple points. I will make it very simple. Very honestly, the article is very big in size. If you open the June 17th newspaper, editorial Hindu paper, there is a very big article, but I will make it very precise for you to understand. Number one, like I have put forward just now, is this a normal government procedure of demolishing the encroachments, or should we take it like a retribution act? This is point number one. The answer is up to the people's perception. Point number two, there are two words used in the article, my dear friends. One is tempter and the other one is tempted. Tempter is a person who tempts others. Tempted is a person who is tempted by someone. Why are these two words used? It is as simple as it is. Whole issue started with what? Actually, there is a person named Javid, right? Muhammad Javid or Javid Muhammad. His house is demolished. But do you think the problem started with Javid? No. Why was Javid's house demolished? As per the observation of some people, his house is demolished because he agitated against government. Now, why has he agitated? Because his emotions, his sentiments are hurt because his prophet is insulted. Who insulted his prophet? The person of a particular political party belonging to a particular religion, not the same religion. Now, should we believe that the mistake is with Javid, or should we believe that the mistake is with the person Nupur Sharma who passed offensive remarks where the problem started? So in one way, Nupur Sharma actually is the main person from whom the whole story began. So Nupur Sharma should be actually punished, if at all should be punished. But why is Javid punished? For example, let us assume for some time that Javid made a mistake. Then what about Nupur Sharma? His house is demolished. What about his house? What is this? What is this culture of demolishing the buildings using bulldozers in the name of official governance for encroachments? Is it not a clear act of retribution? If yes, then where is democracy? Point number three, my dear friends, where is rule of the law? As per the Indian constitution, everybody is equal before the law. Then where is rule of the law? Why are always the poor the victims? Why not the rich? Imagine in the place of Nupur Sharma, if there had been a rich man who belonged to the so-called upper caste or upper religion, would the government have taken the same initiate by demolishing the so-called encroached building? Not sure. So where is the rule of the law? Point number 4, my dear friends, very surprisingly, always the poor are convicted under some very big acts, like the Anti-Terrorism Prevention Act, or the National Security Act, or the Public Safety Act. But the surprising fact is, don't these acts apply for the rich? Are these acts always applied for only the poor or the so-called weaker? Then where is the rule of the law? Where is the equality of the law? Point number 5, my dear friends, Indian Constitution has provided the people with a fundamental right called right to protest. That's called right to peaceful protest. If I want to protest against somebody or some government, I have the fundamental right to go for a peaceful protest. Underline this, peaceful protest is a protest where you carry no stones, no weapons, you pelt no stones and nothing. You peacefully protest, conveying the message to the authorities that we are not happy with this decision taken by you. Please reconsider it. We are ready for the negotiations. Shall we have a dialogue? So peaceful protest is always welcomed by the Indian Constitution. It should be safeguarded. So there is no doubt, as far as the protest is peaceful, government has no authority to take any stringent action like arresting them, detaining them, or taking charges against them, filing cases against them, or demolishing their houses in the name of encroachments. So peaceful protest is a very important fundamental right. We should safeguard that. It is a responsibility of everybody, be it the government, be it the agitators, be it the culprits, be it a common man. My dear friends, another important point is there is again a fundamental right to every Indian citizen called right to shelter. Where does this right to shelter come? Right to shelter comes from right to residence. Like we all know, there is a fundamental right, Article 19(1) Clause E. We all have right to residence. I have my right to live, buy a house or rent a house and live. So right to life is like right to residence, is like right to shelter. Why now is this article into limelight? Imagine the house, the residence of Javed is demolished just in 1 day prior notice. There is a poster pasted on the wall of his house on Saturday. Sunday, the house is demolished. Now where does he go? Doesn't he have this fundamental right? Are fundamental rights applied to only some religions, some castes? Are fundamental rights applied to only the rich? That is a serious question that we need to think about. So right to shelter is a very important right, my dear friends. And this is not what I am saying. In the year 1996 in Uttar Pradesh, the court itself safeguarded this. The court itself held a very important judgment emphasizing on the same right to safeguard, right to shelter should be safeguarded. It happened, this verdict was announced in the year 1996 during the case called Awas Evam Vikas Parishad versus Friends Coop Housing Society case that happened in Uttar Pradesh in the year 1996. And my dear friends, in the same year 1996, the same point was once again reiterated and emphasized and highlighted by the court in the year in the case Chameli Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh. In that year also, the court highlighted the same point, saying that every Indian has the fundamental right to live, right to residence, right to shelter. Now, which means if any building is demolished without following the due course of the governance and the rules, the government itself has the ultimate responsibility to provide a shelter to the victims. Now, is Javed going to be provided with a shelter by the government? Not sure. So the government's responsibility should be to provide the shelter or at least pay compensation. Now in the case of Javed, there is something more surprising. The government says the building is encroached, which means encroachment means illegal construction. And now this is not a new construction, the building is not a new one. It has been there for many years. Now the question is a very simple and logical. If the building is really illegal and encroached For many years he is living in the house, which means he is also paying taxes. So government is collecting taxes from the house. Now, government has been collecting taxes from an illegal construction, which means government is accepting the illegal money. So is it the fault on the government side? Or let me put it in the other way. The officers who have sanctioned the license to construct the house, permission, should be also arrested in that matter then. So how can a government keep on collecting taxes for so many years? Is it not like government condoned the illegality, like government supported the illegality? When an encroachment is there and the government has been collecting taxes for a long time, then is it not illegal is one more question raised in the article, my dear friends. I hope the points are being put forward to you in a simple language, and I am trying to explain in such a way that everybody understands. And now, my dear friends, is there something called constitutional transgression? Of course, yes. What is transgression? Violating the rules, crossing the border. So yes, no doubt there is something called constitutional transgression happened, because the government failed to follow the due course process. No prior notice has been given. One day before, the poster was pasted on the wall of the house of Javed, and it happened on Saturday. Sunday demolished. Now when we talk about Sunday, it surprises more. Sunday is a public holiday, don't you think so? Now when Sunday is a public holiday, how does a government function? Oh fine, the answer comes like, yes, government has the right. It is not a compulsion that it should not work on Sunday. If the government is a good government and doing good things, efficient government, hardworking government, working on Sundays is inspiring. But doesn't it apply also for the same person, for a common man? Why should it happen on Sundays so urgently? Is it so urgent? Why can't it happen a couple of weeks before the notice being sent to the Javed? This is also surprising, my dear friends. So no doubt, as per the article says, not only Javed, any common man whose residence is demolished without the due course being followed by the government should be compensated with a better shelter. Number one. Number two, the stress and the emotional disturbance that the common man like Javed must have gone through should also be compensated. He should be paid money for that. Number three, what about the officers concerned who have sanctioned the illegal construction to him for so long? They should also be arrested. Surprisingly, what is the Uttar Pradesh State Human Rights Council doing? Human Rights Commission doing? Where has it gone? Why is it not talking about it? Are these human rights councils or human rights commissions working only for some religions or the rich? If so, then where is democracy? These are the points mentioned in the article, my dear friends. And 99.9% of the points which are shared by me with you now are absolutely extracted from the article, not my personal opinions. I repeat, my dear friends, there are around 20 to 30 beautiful vocabulary on the article. I want you to underline them and read them. Now that, my dear friends, I have explained the article very clearly to you, I want you to read it. I repeat, this article came on June 17th, editorial column, a very big article, Bulldozer's Injustice, a lesson to teach. Is this a lesson to teach? Is this a retribution act? Doesn't it incite violence in the country further? Many uncertain questions, many hypothetical questions. But one thing is for sure, not good for India, not good for the future generations, not good for the peace and harmony, not good for the democracy, not good for the humanity above all. Thank you, my dear friends. Before I end the video, I always request you to keep messaging your ideas, your feedback, your queries. Your comments are going to help me so much. Your comments will help me better to help you better. Have a beautiful day, my dear friends. I'll meet you in my next video. Read this article now, and if you have read this article, also do message that. That makes me happy. All the best.